good morning. Well, it looks like Facebook is working today. For anyone who was waiting on Wednesday, Facebook is doing naughty things to us at Totallybeads this week. So as admin, we can't actually get into the page at all, but it looks like all of you guys are managing to find us and the video and the page. So that's good to know. Good morning to you all. Happy... What day is it today? I don't know. Is it Friday? Friday! Yay! I've had a manic week, as you can tell, I'm sure. Today, I am going to show you a really fun project for Memory Wire. So I'm making adjustable bangles. So we've got some amazing beads in the bundles today if you need some extra special materials. And of course, I'm going to be using Memory Wire. So I saw somebody commented a minute ago, I'll go through your comments in a second. I saw someone said, I've got my super strong hands at the ready. The nice thing is we've put in a bit of a softer memory wire into this one for you so that it's easier to work with. I know, having seen quite a few of you on the Totally Handmade page, that some of you struggled with the plaited memory wire, which is a very intricate make for memory wire, but it is a little bit of a stronger wire needed for that one. So I thought with your memory wire bangles today, we'll just keep it nice and simple. We'll use some easy materials. So I'm going to show you very quickly, in case you want to nab any of these bundles. We don't have a huge amount of stock of them, but I'm pretty sure you will have beads and bits and pieces at the ready. I've seen some of you are already ready to go with your materials. As usual, for anyone new to the page, head on over to the totallybeads.co.uk website, up to categories and down to Facebook tutorials, and here you're going to find all of our goodies. I know we haven't been able to do the hematite pendant yet from, what day was that? Or did Kitty do it yesterday? I don't know because I was on telly, I missed it. I know Sarah was meant to do it on Wednesday. But we've got these fantastic bundles today. So 0.8 memory wire, 0.8 millimetre. And then we've got our amazing bundles, and I'll show you these live. We've got the blues, the golds and the monochromes. Also your head and eye pins and your jump rings, which I've just remembered I don't have on my desk ready. But I'll find some. Will I? The laptop is resting on all of my findings boxes. I'll have a little look, see what I can do. Okay, so good morning to you all. Good morning, Alicia. Hi, Sam. Hi, Jan, Jitty, Jamil. Jamil, that's a mixture of Kitty, Jitty and Camille. I'm very sorry. Helen, Linda, Janice. Good morning. Got my goodies ready to go, says Janice. Janice says she's already got the monochrome bundle. That is one of my favourites. Hi, good morning, Nadia. Late night in New Zealand. Hello. I hope you're all keeping safe over there. I think you've done a fantastic job, haven't you? Not like us here. Good morning, Marion. Hi, Lynn in Bristol. Sandra. Beading all day is the way forward. It's a wet day. Yeah, today is a get things done in the house day, isn't it? It's pretty miserable here as well. Hi, good morning, Alison. Good morning from Cape Town. Made it in time to tune in for this fabulous tutorial. Well, we are across the world again this morning. Good morning, Christine from Swansea. Hi, Linda, Carol, Elaine. Good morning to you all. Lots and lots of you. Okay, so I can see that we do. Oh, Sarah Payne did do it yesterday. Good. I'm very sorry. I was on telly yesterday, so I did miss. But I'm glad that it all ended up working in the end. Camille says I've been called all sorts, but Jamil is a new one. You know what I'm like. Every now and again, I'll be saying something, I'll read something, and it all just jumbles into one. I think my mouth works a lot faster than my brain. Okay, so let's have a little look-sees. I absolutely love these bangles. I've been making them for years. I've been selling them for years. I had some amazing Swarovski ones that I had used in lots of my my leftover Swarovski materials that I was selling, and they were one of my best sellers. So for you guys too, if you are gifting or making to sell, I think this is going to be a no-brainer. So the memory wire, as you know, normally, so it comes like a little slinky. Normally they will wrap around your wrist. We've been doing some pretty funky things with them over the last couple of months, the plaited memory wire and your necklaces. Hi, good morning, Maria from Malta. I'm loving the international comments today. So making an adjustable bangle is so simple, and the great thing is that you don't really use many beads either. Memory wire can be a very bead heavy project, because if you're wrapping them around, you're going to need several coils. So that can make it quite consuming on your materials. But with these bundles, so I've actually made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I've made 6 of the bracelets from the monochrome selection here. This one actually has 2 different sizes of your beads. This one is just your crystals. This one is a mixture of the crystals and the pearls. Oh, I went wrong there. That's annoying. Your ivory pearls, the crystals, and then the larger rondelles as well. Look at all of the beads that I have left over. You wouldn't even know I had touched the bundle. So what I would encourage you to do is your 20 loops, we're actually using 1.5 coils per bracelet. So your 20 loops, you're going to get, I would say, just over 10 out of, possibly just under, depending on sizes, but add some more in, because look at all of these beads that I've got left over. So these are the bundles, the bracelets that I've made from the bundle so far. Still got all of this to go. So if we are making to sell, the bangles are fantastic because they are one size fits all, because up and over your knuckles and your wrist, it's going to go really big, ready to go in, and you can shrink that down again, and it's still going to give you a lovely petite finish. I've got a terrible feeling I've got a delivery coming. I can hear the dog growling already. Thank you, Earl. We've got it. So they will stretch up and out. Now your golds, obviously my favourite. I've done 4 of these so far. So you've got the beautiful gold pearls, some beautiful cream crystals in there as well, and then a lovely mixture of the crystals, gorgeous champagne colours. These are perfect for autumn, and again, I've still got all of these beads left over. And then the one I'm going to use today is your blues. I thought these would show up really nicely on camera. There's some amazing colours in here as well. So you have a mixture of your rondelles in various different sizes, so you can mix all of these up. Let's bring these out a little bit more, like so. Oh, Camille's saying good morning to Curly. Likes to make his little appearance, doesn't he? And it's just him and I today, so it's a nice quiet house. But no doubt he'll let you all know he's there. Lovely pearls and crystals. Okay, so let's go shiny. Let's go for these ones first, and I might just intersperse. Let's go for choices. Okay, let's go for these 2. They're going to look beautiful. Now, obviously, you can use any beads for these. Like I said, it's a great way of using some leftovers. If you've made maybe a necklace and a pair of earrings, and you've got maybe 25, 30 odd beads left from a strand, this is a great way to use it up. But in bundles like these, if you want to do your mass makes, obviously you get the most amazing value. Simon puts on some amazing deals for these videos, which obviously we are super grateful of. And this set is going to go a very long way. Okay, so I'm going to go for one of my smaller rondelles. This is like a midnight blue. So this is going to look super fancy for either everyday wear, or is he Curly or Earl? He's actually called Earl. We called him Earl because he's grey. Earl Grey, couldn't think of anything else. When he was a puppy, he was so white grey. He was really light, and any of you that have seen him now, he's obviously, as the years have gone on, he's got a lot darker. I'll put up a picture on my Instagram when we finish this of him as a puppy, and you'll see why we made the grey reference. He's a cockapoo, but he's the colouring is a merle, so he's Earl the Merle. But over the years he's adopted many different names. So we do call him Curly, Early, Curls, anything. Depends when you're shouting at him what you end up calling him. Okay, so memory wire. I'm going to cut 1.5 coils. So can you see I'm starting here? I've gone all the way around and round a half. So I've got 1.5 coils, which means my materials are going to spread quite far. 20 coils in your packs of memory wire. That's how we sell it, depending on the thickness. Some of them are think some of them are even 50 coils, so of course then you're going to get even more. I wouldn't suggest going too thin with these because we are moulding the wire. It might be easier on your hands, but it might not last the stretching all of the time. So, getting mixed up, thought you had 3 dogs. No, just Earl and Django, both of whom make regular appearances. Okay, so let's get going. Oh, Teresa says, I love hearing Curly. Always a joy to hear the fur babies. I'm just so grateful that none of you mind, because I guess it's not too professional, but hey, you're live at home with me, aren't you? So you got to take me as you find me. Okay, so round nose pliers. There's a couple of things I'm going to need. I have used my big old memory wire cutters. Make sure you don't use your good cutters for these. I do also have a blue pair of cutters that I've used for years for wire. I don't use them for my good things, but they are very hardy. You would have seen I've used those before. Memory wire cutters, because it is a tempered steel, so you do need something that's going to be super strong. My flat nose pliers and my round. So we're going to go for round first. And I like the loops on these to be quite small. So I am going to take it quite high up my pliers, as you know. Thinner at the top, bigger towards the bottom. I say as you know, some of you may not. So I know that we've got lots of newbies joining us every day. So I try to cover all of the basics, and then for anyone who has been beading for a long time, I'm hoping it's just a little refresher for you as well, and we can give you some design ideas. Oh, hi Camilla from Spain, good morning. Oh, we are reaching everywhere today. Lucy, I'm not sure I like the golds, but I like the blues and purples too, so hard to choose. Oh, I like the golds. I know there's we always do quite a few. The hardest bit of these projects is actually just picking your favourite colours. Okay, so I'm going to go from the very tip down ever so slightly. Good morning, Melissa from Texas. Oh, I say, I'm feeling very special today. So no wire poking out of the top if you can. We want to mould and round as much of this as we possibly can. And then because it's a reasonably thinner wire, you'll see I'm keeping it nice and soft. Oh, Christy, you're naughty. She says, just buy both. you little temptress, you. So I'm at the very top and I'm going to use my thumb to help mould this around. So reasonably small loop. Moulding it around, nice little movements is going to give me that control on my wire. And I'm going to keep on going until I can feel it touches the underside of my wire. So you can see I've got a complete loop, no gaps. And then I'm going to straighten this up so it's slightly pointing into the inside. And you'll see that with memory wire, I always curl in the direction of the coil. So I'm not battling it and going the wrong way. I'm doing it as with the wire because it's got that natural bend. This is how it's molded, how it's memorizing its shape. So just work with it, don't work against it. I'm going to pop my pliers back in and then just supporting the underneath bridge, I'm just going to pop that up ever so slightly, little rotation, and that will straighten it up for me. So now I've got a nice simple loop that's right on the end. And then this is where all the fun bit happens. This is how we're going to make it adjustable. I'm going to take my flat nose pliers. I mean, simple things please me. I say this is fun, but all I'm doing is bending the loop. So I'm going to take my flat nose pliers and I'm then going to bend it down to 90 degrees, like so. Okay, and that's giving me that little run underneath. Now we're going to thread our beads on. So when I'm working with 2 different sizes, I'll always go with a smaller bead first and then the larger. Now you could add extra seed beads on these. You could add some closed rings in between. You could add some little coils of wire. You could do absolutely anything you like. You are just making the feature of the bangle. So these beads, I could probably pick these ones up from the mat actually. Oh yeah, that's better. So I'm going to use the memory wire. Now can you see how I'm holding the actual memory wire? I'm keeping it all in its coil. I'm not stretching it out. So just try to keep it as condensed down as you can. That's going to keep it nice and tight and stop that stretching. A question, how big a bead do you go to? As big as you want really, Diane. It's entirely up to you. The thing is with these beads, if you do go too large, you might stretch your memory wire out a little bit. But if you want to add in some larger beads as a real feature, why not add on some smaller beads, go to a couple of larger beads in the middle, well, I would always do odd numbers, keep it as that feature. As with designing jewellery and home decor and everything else, you should always go for odd numbers, because then you get that central focal point. So add in like 3 nice big ones in the middle and then a few smaller ones on the other side. So I'm keeping the coils nice and tight. I'm only stretching out that little section that I actually want to thread my beads onto. And then we're going to fill 1/2 to 3/4. It is totally design preference. It's whatever you would like your bracelet to look like. So if you want to add on less beads, so like I was saying earlier, if you've got leftover beads from a project and you just want to add on a couple of angles, just design it so that the little section that we are beading will use up the amount of beads that you have. Personally, I like to go just over 1/2, so about 3/4. Oh, come on. And that's kind of my preferred look. So I would leave it about there. And then I'm going to mold this around, move my beads around. So I've got my loop on my left, wire on the right, and I'm going to take the wire and thread it through that loop that we have made. And then I'm going to pull it around so that all my beads go up to that loop. Now this is where you can start to adjust the size a little bit. I saw, and I'm sorry I didn't read it because I was rabbiting on at the time, somebody asked about children's sized memory wire. We do have small memory wire, so I think we have a small and a large on the website, but actually this is how you can also make memory wire smaller and hold it into place. So can you see, I'm going to pull this really nice and tight, and I could attach my loop that we're about to do just on here. And that would give you a child-sized bangle. Add on fewer beads if you're going to bring it in tighter, because that will give you more space. And of course, then when you pull it open, you just need that little bit of movement. So if you're going to do it for children's size, look, I can make this tiny. But because I've got these beads on, obviously it's limiting my space because I'm going for my size. But if you want to make it smaller, that is a way that you can condense down a larger memory wire, which you normally can't do because it will spring open. So this is a nice way to make it smaller as well. But likewise, you can also make it larger. So again, if I want to make it larger, I'm just going to open it up. And this will be where I will attach on my second loop. So you can see it's really going to work for you. That's a good way for you to be in charge of the wire and make the size that you need. Now for me, I'm going to make it just ever so slightly smaller. I do have reasonably wide knuckles, but really teeny tiny wrists. So bangles are really annoying because it has to be big enough to go over my knuckles, and then when it's on my wrist, it ends up halfway up my arm. So I like to make it that little bit smaller. Linda says, whoops, they all fell in my basket. Those slippy fingers this morning, eh? Good morning, Charlotte. Okay, so finishing touches. This is how easy it is. We're nearly done. Finishing touches is adding on this additional loop. So the wire up at the top is obviously one that we haven't yet made a loop onto. And I'm just going to run my fingers over the wire because I want them stacked totally on top of each other. So I don't want anything pulled out of place. And I'm going to go for about here, which means I do have a little bit of leftover wire and I'm going to trim that off. So I always go for 1.5 because it just gives me that little fail-safe of do I need extra wire or not. If I'm using bigger beads, I'm probably going to need it. If I'm using smaller beads, I might not. So it just gives you that adaptability. Okay, and then we're just going to repeat what we did at the very beginning, taking our round nose pliers, again, using our thumbs to help mold that. So my thumb is stabilizing the wire. I'm rotating this around. Now my loop has gone ever so slightly wonky. Can you see that? So I'm just going to use my flat nose pliers just to stabilize that, nudge it in so that it is now in line with the wire. Again, we're going to straighten it up, pliers in, support that bridge under your finger and tilt it up ever so slightly. So then I've got a loop that's up on top, and then I'm going to nudge it down. So flat nose pliers, again, holding this wire so we don't bend anything, supporting just by the side of my plier and bending down to 90 degrees, like that. And then I'm going to make sure that all of my beads are on the far side. Now, if you wanted to add some beads into this little decorative section, then you could. You could always go for a little feature section and bring these up and in. And these will move as you wear it. Personally, I don't like them moving, so I put it down into the other section. And then this bit I need to attach onto the base. So I'm going to take my flat nose pliers and we're going to open this loop just like a little jump ring. So I'm going to take my round nose pliers and I'm holding it vertically. I don't want to dent or bend any of this wire. So I'm going to hold it vertically, give that a little twist to open up my wire, make sure those beads aren't in place. And my loop at the beginning was underneath, my loop at the top. My second loop now is going to be at the top. And I'm just going to take that wire and add it in. Take your flat nose pliers again, round nose pliers again, and we'll close that loop. Now, I struggle sometimes to make sure that this bit closes completely. Can you see that we've got a little gap? I'm just going to take my flat nose pliers and pinch that together because I want the gap to be as closed as possible because I don't want that wire coming out and threading up, unthreading. And there you've got it, your adjustable memory wire bangle. Super, super simple. 2 loops, nudge down to 90 degrees, and there you go. Now, I need to very quickly find, and I wonder if I've got my little findings bag down here. I need to find some jump rings and eye pins. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to raid my cupboard. I wonder if I've got any. Okay, I've got a jump ring. I just need to find some head pins and my laptop is resting on my box. Hold on 1 second. Let's lift you up. Have a little wobble. I have to do a little makeshift stand for my laptop. So that'll do. And then just as I think I had about 10 seconds left on the countdown, and I suddenly gazed down and saw all my findings underneath you that I needed. Okay, so you can now decorate the little outside bits of your bangles, which is just going to lift it. It's just going to give it that little bit more of a feature. So let's go for a couple of head pins. Let's add some of these on and a couple of jump rings. I struggle manipulating memory wire, says Melissa. This one is actually very mouldable. This one is an easy one to work with. Oh, Diane's saying my pliers always twist. Yeah, sometimes it does it for me too, obviously, as you saw. Excuse me, but just use those flat nose pliers just to nudge that back into place. You'll find that with memory wire, because you're pulling it so strongly, a lot of the time you're actually twisting it towards yourself without even realising. So just those little nudges will give you that little bit more control on it as well. I did this before and I got my beads stuck in the loop. Now I have to do it again. It's still a look, Mina. It's still a nice design. I just personally like adding the little charms onto these bits rather than having the beads in there. But keep an eye on those naughty beads because they will jump in. Okay, so then turning some loops, I'm going to add on a few feature beads so that I can pull in the lovely little design that we've got in here using the 2 different sizes of our crystals. I think I'm going to go 5. Let's just go all out. So I'm going to go for 3 little ones and 2 bigger ones. And I can show you how to decorate them. Now, when you're working with crystals, a lot of the time when you bend your pin to 90 degrees, you'll actually chip the crystal. So just be careful with this. So with your round nose pliers, you want to bend the pin directly above the crystal. And what I've done is actually left a tiny little gap so that my pliers aren't directly above my crystal, because I know that that will start chipping the top of them. So just be aware of that. Just be careful and give yourself that little bit more space. And then going back to my ordinary flush cutters, I'm going to cut and leave about 1 centimetre. And because my loops on my memory wire are quite small, I'm going to go for little small loops on my pins as well. Rotating this around, creating that lovely little loop up on top of your crystal. like so. And because we've got a head pin, it's got that flush finish at the bottom. So it's going to make these charms connectable at only one end. So your eye pins, and I did a lovely little tutorial, even if I do say so myself, a lovely little necklace the other day using our crystal bundles and using eye pins. So your eye pins will make it all connectable. I saw this morning, I can't remember the lady's name, I'm sorry, she's in New Zealand, made a beautiful necklace and shared that on the group. And that will give you the ability to make chain, whereas your head pins are going to give you the flush finish, so they're going to give you charms. So lovely little loops on here, keeping it all nice and petite and delicate. And because with a bracelet like this, your materials and your techniques, they're so exposed, there's kind of nowhere to hide. Excuse me. So it's really nice to just think about that and adapt the loop sizes accordingly, make them nice and delicate as opposed to a little bit bigger. It's just going to give you that lovely finishing touch. Just going to straighten that one up ever so slightly. And then my final one. And then we're ready to go. So thumb on the bottom, finger stabilizing that bead, pin up to the ceiling, and I'm rolling away from me. Tiny little nudgy movements is going to give you more control over those pins. And if you need to, you can straighten them up. Okay, so I'm going to add on. I've obviously now got these 2 bars that I can decorate. You can either put on your jump rings over both of them and add the charms on, or you can put your beads directly on. And I do a mixture of both because it's going to give me that texture and that movement. So with your jump rings, holding on to the flat nose pliers and your round nose pliers, giving that a nice little twist open. And I think we'll go a small one. Do we just go for 2? Let's go for 2. I know I said using it in odd numbers, but hey, rules are there to be broken, right? I'm going to add on my jump ring onto both, and you'll see that that's going to give me a nice little charm. And then we'll go big on the bottom and a small one on either side. Let's do that. So then these ones are going to go directly onto the wire. So I'm going to twist it open onto the bottom wire. So I've got a jump ring holding both of them together, holding onto that loop and twisting it shut. We'll go for a big one as well in the very middle. So again, because I've started with smaller beads on either side of the bangle, we'll go for small, graduating into those larger ones. Move that one over and let's go for a small one on the bottom on the other side as well. So it's just thinking about the aesthetics of it. Think about, you know, graduating it all into a main point of focus, purling in that design. And of course you could add on charms, you could add on handmade with love, you could do absolutely anything. And there you've got that lovely movement as well. So not only is it adjustable, but you've got those gorgeous features on the inside, and that's just going to roll onto your wrist. And then look at how nice that sits then. I don't have that huge big gap, and they look shop bought, they look quite designer. I've seen bangles like these made over the years from various different designers, and it just gives a really lovely finish. It gives a really nice take on memory wire. And obviously you can these are from my blues. I've still got all of my blues and my purples to use up, and these are going to look amazing stacked up. So when I wear my ones, I wear sort of 2 or 3 at a time, just pick out some nice colours. So I would probably go for that one, and that one. And you can wear all 3 of them, or as many as you like, as lovely little stack of bracelets. You don't have to add the charms on. These ones are plain. I don't have any charms on here at all, but it's going to give you that really nice bangle and lovely finish. And I just think the memory wire looks really quite smart with your beads on there as well. So there you go, super simple, but very effective. If you ask me. So the bundles are on the website. The beads should be £17.50. They are down to £11.50 for the tutorial. You've got your pins in there as well, and your jump rings so that everything will match. And then of course your memory wire, £1. So when you break this down, I think you would be making, gosh, probably about 20 bracelets from your actual beads. So when you break that down into a cost per make, you are looking at, I don't know, probably £1, £1.50 for all of your materials, which is absolutely nothing really, is it? When you're then going to be selling them, and I mean, how much can you sell these for? I would say quite a bit. And it's a nice quick make. So it's not very often we can recoup our time and cost on the materials and also the amount of time that it takes to actually make them. Natalie says, I'm sad half term is over next week and I'll be back in work. I love watching the live tutorials. We'll have to catch up in the evenings when my boys are asleep. There's still so much to watch, but last night I found the original of this back in May and decided it was my project today. Well, there you go, as fate would have it, Natalie. Yeah, and so half term, I mean, I'll be quite glad because I get my days back. But yes, you will be able to catch up, obviously, at any time. When you get home, obviously, all of these videos are saved on the website and on our Facebook page, so you can go back and have a look at them at any time, whenever suits you. Melissa says, when you were making the bangles, I noticed you use round nose pliers to bend small beads and flat nosed on the large. Why use the flat? Just because it gave me a bit of a better grip. So like I'd said, I want to make sure that I'm not chipping those crystals. So because it was a bigger bead, I was holding on to it a little bit firmer. My flat nose pliers just gave me that little bit more strength. So I didn't even notice I was doing it, to be honest. It was just naturally what felt right for me. So there is no right or wrong with the materials and the tools that you use. Just do whatever feels right for you and whatever feels comfortable. Linda says they're gorgeous. Thank you, Sarah. Can't wait for my bundles. You are more than welcome. Thank you. Great quick make to use up leftover beads, says Sam. Exactly. Thank you, Sarah. Have a lovely day. And you, Margaret. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sarah. Not disappointed. Simple delight and have had a chance to watch. Oh, thank you, Alison. Amazing. So yeah, really nice quick project, very effective, great for gifts. But also you can use them as decorative pieces as well. You can even use these for napkin rings. You can use them to put around candles. There's so many different ways that you can use your memory wire, and because it's so inexpensive, especially when you have bundles like these, you can use them for lots of different makes as well. You could even use them as little wreaths, couldn't you? Put a little bow up on top, hang them on the tree. Lots of different makes. So you have, tomorrow is Saturday, I'm at the studio, so you've got Kitty tomorrow morning. Kitty is going to be with you at 10 a.m. I've got a super busy day at the TV studios tomorrow, so I won't be able to join you all, but I will be with you on Sunday, and we're going to be making some beaded bows. So they're going to be great for hair clips, brooches. You could even use them on gift wrapping and tree decorations as well. I know I'm getting a bit Christmas obsessed at the moment. I'm thinking about putting up some Christmas decorations. What do you think? There was talk of it yesterday in the studios, and everyone was saying, oh, just put your tree up in November and have fun, stay at home and be safe and just make home all cozy. So I'm really thinking about it. I might do something. Might do something today. Some nice little twigs and fairy lights or something. So yes, I will be with you on Sunday making some lovely beaded bows. So a bit of wire, a few gorgeous pearl bundles. Camille says no. Okay, Camille, I'll hold off a little while longer. And we've got quite a few birthdays to get out of the way, actually. My husband's birthday is on the 20th of December. And when he was growing up, Christmas was never allowed to start until after his birthday. And when we got together, I said, I'm really sorry, but I can't do that. So my tree normally goes up at the beginning of December. And I was like, there's no way I can just put my tree up for like a week or two. I've got to get at least a month out of it. So have a lovely day, guys. I hope you enjoy. Oh, Lorna says she's looking forward to making the beaded bows already. Join me on Sunday for that, Sunday 10 o'clock. Question, bow bow from flower brooch to yes. So we made the flower brooches, which is very, very similar to the bows that I'm going to do as well. But we're going to go big and bold on Sunday with the bows. So a little bit more of a feature than the smaller bows that we had before. Okay, so thank you so much for joining. Pleasure talking to you all. Thank you for a few nice giggles this morning, all across the world as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, don't forget, tonight there is a very special and important newsletter coming through, so keep an eye on your inboxes tonight. You will know that we are launching some bead clubs, which is super exciting. Hundreds of you have already signed up to register an interest in the bead clubs, and the newsletter will be coming to you this evening. So Kitty is going to be answering all of your questions during her project tomorrow morning. Keep an eye out for that. There will be the option to sign up to additional newsletters and obviously to register in the bead groups. So if you haven't already, pop over onto the website, sign up to that newsletter, register your interest, and then keep an eye on those inboxes tonight. It's going to be super exciting. And then Kitty and I will talk to you about it all over Saturday and Sunday's videos. Thank you all. Enjoy your Friday. Stay safe wherever you are, and I will see you on Sunday. Enjoy your weekend. Lots of love to you all. Thanks. Bye.